And welcome to Positive Talk Radio, my friends. And my name is Kevin McDonald. And my best friend is right there. She's my granddaughter. She's everything. Her name is Brichelle. Hey, Brichelle, we've got a great show and it's going to be kid oriented today.
I know, I love doing this with you, Kevin, and for everybody who joins us in here, because we get to learn about so many things that haven't been around that we knew were available, especially when it comes to parents and children and ways to learn and healthy engagement when they're on a device or paying attention to something other than you. So Sandy Ciaramitaro is here to tell you all about what she's created. We call thegoodeggs.org. You can follow along with us. Kevin, I don't know about you, but I already like these good little eggs.
Yeah, and they are all over the place, and we'll talk about that when we come back. There's a moment in every life when you decide to rise.
To stand taller than your fear.
To speak louder than your doubt.
To chase the vision that sets your soul on fire.
This is that moment. And here we walk it together with stories that awaken, voices that inspire,
and truths that set you free.
This is Positive Talk Radio with Kevin
and with Brichelle,
where hope has a voice.
And that voice is yours.
And welcome to the show, everybody. My name, of course, is Kevin, and Brichelle is right there. We've got a great guest now. I got to tell you, Sandy was on Positive Talk Radio 3 years ago, and she had come out with a couple of children's books and was on her way. She was a teacher at the time. She since retired from that so she could donate full time to this. She's now on PBS with a cartoon. She's got 3 books out. She's got a app that we're going to be talking about. She is everywhere. And Brichelle, her name is?
Sandy Ciaramitaro is here with us today. Sandy, oh my gosh. You came in a few years ago and lots has changed. Hence
Sure.
as to why I'm here. It is such an honor to meet you. I've heard Kevin tell me about the first show you guys got to do together, and what an honor to have you back. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm very excited to be here. It's good to see you here. I know lots changed for you as well. And yeah, a lot has happened in those last 3 years. So I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, including the cartoon and the books. And what I really love about your books is not only are they good for children to read, they're very instructive and with a really, really good message.
They are, and I'm very happy that they've taken off the way they have, because you can take it in little bites. Like the first book is 12 chapters, but you can do it, as a parent-child relationship as well. So they can read them together. There's lesson plans. I have short little parenting tips for parents if they want like a quick overview of what the lesson was about, and they can kind of instill what happened in the lesson. So it's an all around, I like to call it my educational ecosystem. There's a lot of moving parts. So it can be used in many different ways. Little bites, longer chapters for more of an avid reader. So however they want to do it, the way is there for them. So.
The one thing that I want to stress here that I don't know, Brichelle, you're going to have to tell me if it's a thing these days or not, but there used to be a time when it was bedtime and we would go to the children's bedroom and we'd say, what do you want to read tonight? And then we'd pick a children's book out, and then we would read it together and talk about it a little bit. And then off to bed they would go. Do they still do that now, or do they now get their smartphones out and just sit there and talk?
I think that depends on the family. I never knew what that was like. That seems kind of weird to me. That's too lovey, like what are you doing? Just let me have my space before I go to sleep. But no, my best friend is raising a beautiful young girl, and she does those things with her even throughout the day. And so I think those activities are coming back because parents are learning that they can do it. I don't know. What about you, Sandy?
I agree. I think that, you know, and it's true. Everyone's busy. Parents are busy. I mean, I'm a parent, you know, I mean, we know we've been there. But it's nice to set that time aside and have that special time for your day, talk about your day, put all the devices down and maybe pick up a book, right? Pick up a book, or if you must be on the device, right? We can look at the app, the Good Eggs app as well. But it's really nice to have that connection. And I even had a teacher, a kindergarten teacher, which the books are a bit young for kindergarten, but she read to the class. That was their routine after recess. And they wanted to know what's going to happen to Benedict or what's going to happen to the eggs. And so that was kind of their routine. And they got real interested in what was going to happen next. So yeah, you can establish things of that nature with parents in bedtime too.
That's awesome.
You know, when I was a kid, we would go from our school and all walk in a single file line and go to the library. And there was a nice lady and she would read us a book as we sat around. I don't know that they do that anymore. And I think that is so sad that the written word and books and stuff. But you've transcended that because you've got the 3 books and they are about a year of kindness, a year of global adventure, and a year of helping others. And those are really good foundational topics, don't you think?
I think so. That's how I structured them purposely that way. So the first one, the year of kindness, talks about different, and they're very basic situations that kids at school or at home can get into so that they can relate to them. Because I've had parents say, oh my gosh, my son said, that's what Reggie said, or what would Sigourney do in this situation? So I've had them relating to just very simple, not getting invited to a party. But he actually made a mistake, and he had to make up for that, and moving to a new town, and getting hurt and you can't participate in something. So they're real simple kid situations that kids can relate to, or maybe their friend it happened to. So the first one covers like kindness issues, like understanding and forgiveness and generosity and gratitude and responsibility, manners. There's 12 in all. So each one has a little different story with it, and they do build upon each other. Okay. So then you can see them grow through 12 months. They start in September when they go back to school, and then it ends in August. And then the next one, in that book, they won a recycling contest. So the United Nations recognized them and sent them on a trip around the world to be global ambassadors. So that's where book 2 comes in, a year of global awareness, or global adventure, I put. And they travel to 10 countries, and they learn customs and culture, and they get into all kinds of situations across the globe. Benedict has to end up rescuing a little girl from a pyramid, and Reggie throws up in the Leaning Tower of Pisa. There's all kinds of stuff that goes on. It's a lot of fun, but they learn a lot of things, even some language and some words from all around the world. And then they come back from that trip, and they are still kind of labeled ambassadors in their own hometown. So they learn the importance of helping their own community. They help at a food bank. They help at an animal shelter. They help at a senior care facility. They put on a program for health in their community. They visit a nature center. So all the things that make up a community, and what they do in book 3, then they connect it back to the little eggs they met around the world, and they do that same service in their country. So it all connects at the end. And you see them grow over a period of 3 years. So it's a lot of fun. And there's lesson plans for each chapter. There's things you can do at home with them to reinforce, what's been going on in the books. Oh, hey, let's try to make our own pizza tonight. Like that's what they did in Italy. Just different things that you can relate to and bring the book alive at home or in the classroom. So yeah, it's a series of 3, and they're a lot of fun.
I think what you're doing is remarkable. And I wanted to mention this because I heard something very disconcerting just the other day.
Uh-oh.
Somebody who was on TV, who had a platform, and was saying that children are inherently looking to do bad things. I wholeheartedly disagree with that assessment. I think children inherently want to do good, want to do the right thing. Sandy and then Brichelle, what do you think?
Oh, I would wholeheartedly disagree with that as well. Children are pure-hearted. Children are innocent. Children are sincere. Children are not bad. Children are good. People are good. I believe people are good. It's just we get jaded, right, as we grow older. But you've got that age 7 being the age of reason, so to speak, right, in the world of psychology. So they learn an awareness that's beyond them. And I've seen it. I've witnessed it in the classroom. I've witnessed it in my own children, in any children I come in contact with. They want to do good. They want to have empathy. And they do. They naturally do. And that's why I wanted to write these, so that we can kind of instill that, keep that going in them, teach them that kindness is actually a superpower, right? That it's actually very cool to be kind.
Yes.
And that you need that, because as you grow, if that stays with them as an adult, it's going to build stronger schools, stronger communities, stronger families, stronger world. So we really need that awareness of others. And I believe kids have that naturally, and that we can really nurture that as they grow. 100%.
I
Brichelle?
agree. Yeah, I 100% agree with you guys and disagree with that. Only because kids are curious and they have imagination for a reason. And like you said, Sandy and Kevin, I know you believe things along the way in your experiences through your life shape and shift your motives and your perspectives and your opinions on things. And they've proven that even when you are doing something that may be against your values or in the wrong, must we say, it's because you're trying to protect yourself, which I believe is still trying to do the right thing.
Right. I agree. And I think that kids, kids can also be like pleasers, like they want to please, but if we tell them that doing the right thing is the right thing to do, because it's the right thing to do, not because you're going to please somebody, but because you're going to really help a person, that shifts them, that shifts their thinking. And I think that's what we need to really instill, is that you want to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, right?
Yeah.
To do the next right thing, because that helps you even live your fuller life. That helps you, grind your own wheels and to make your own self aware of others' needs. Yes, we need to develop ourselves and our individuality, and that's all great. But I think sometimes we stop there, and we need to look further. And we need to look at other people and their needs, because not everyone is on the same playing field. And we need to really look at that and how we can maybe make their life better too. And if we instill that into kids at a younger age, that's going to naturally grow with them into an adult.
Well, and what you just said is literally teaching them to be in tune with their emotions, to listen, what feels right, what doesn't. And teach them also that it's not just about how they feel, but somebody else, and paying attention to their perspective and what's going on selflessly, but from a place of love, not just from your mind.
Exactly. And that's exactly the situations that occur in the books.
Love it.
Benedict, he's the troubled egg, right? He's always in trouble. He's always causing some kind of issue. But his friends,
He's not a
Kevin.
deviled egg, is he?
maybe. But his friends don't give up on him. Okay. They get angry with him as well, right? Anger's a natural emotion, and being hurt's natural. I mean, we're going to all experience that, but that's why there's a chapter on forgiveness too.
Yes.
So you have to really see how they interact with each other. And by the end of the 3rd book, I don't want to say, but it's really sweet. It's very sweet. So you'll see him grow. He grows the most, obviously.
Well, and Sandy, I'm struck by two things. Number one is that you're going to have an entire generation of kids that are going to grow up and they're going to remember the Good Egg series and they're going to be so happy to have had it and they're going to have that memory that you're helping to create. So I have to ask you, was this like, did an angel come down and tap you on the head with a wand and you said, I'm going to create this? Or was there a period of time? Did it evolve? How did all this come to be?
I've always wanted to write a children's book just based on goodness and kindness. That's how I came up with the good eggs, because I kept throwing the word good around, in my head. Good. What can I make? Good eggs. It's a phrase. Oh, I can make the characters eggs. And then it kind of took off from there. So I kind of just intended one book. But once I was done with the one book, I just loved them so much. I said, I'm not done with them. I got to take them around the world and we're going to learn more. So we learned about culture and how other people live. And then I was done with that book, wasn't done with them. So I said, I need to bring them back home. And then they're going to actually be servicing their own community. So, and there's intergenerational things that go on. They learn from, the people at the senior care center. So there's a lot of that happens. So after the 3-part series, and the end of book 3, I felt in my heart they were complete. So that series is complete. So you see 3 years of their lives and how they grow. And pretty much all aspects of a life, right? How you treat people, right? The kindness, traveling the world. So you can have an open mind and see how other cultures live and why they do things the way they do things. And then your own community, taking care of how a community works and what that means to your life and how you can participate in it. So yeah, it just kind of came to me with the one, and it kept morphing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So then I created the foundation because I wanted to put the books into action. Then I created the app. So it's just, lesson plans. I also have parent tips, like I said earlier, just really short 1 to 2 minute little parent tips about each lesson of what, just a real recap real quick. Parents can watch it, in the car or whatever. They can just listen to it if they need to. So it's just keeps growing and growing and growing. So that's where I am.
Well, and you've got a cartoon and you're on PBS.
Yeah.
I got to ask you, did you seek them out or did they call you one day and say, we would love to have you on PBS? And did you drop the phone?
That's insane.
Well, what happened was it started with our own local Michigan PBS. So that's called the Michigan Learning Channel. And I got an email from the Michigan Learning Channel and they said, we've been watching your videos on your YouTube channel. And we'd really like to feature you on our website, on the Michigan Learning Channel website. We're an affiliate of PBS. Lovely. Great. So I had to fill out all this information, like for what each one video's about, social emotional learning, age group, everything like that. The music, we had to get the music clearance. So it was a lot to fill out. And then they started to air them. Then, lo and behold, someone told me, hey, did you check Big PBS? Their website, they're showing them too. So they must have picked up what I can figure is I think they all kind of look at each other's content and maybe they share it. So now it's on Big PBS's website. So.
Well, what happens is good content or great content is contagious because everybody's looking for good content, and something like yours, they can sell it to advertisers. They can do all kinds of different stuff, in a real positive way. And there's not enough of that going around right now. I'm so pleased that you're doing this work because it's important for the next generation.
Yeah, I feel that too. I feel that, maybe we're losing some of that, and maybe to bring some of that back, we need to slow down a little bit and bring it can be this little, right? A little act of kindness can really change someone's day in an adult's life, right? Let alone a child's life. So yeah, I really like to bring some of that back a little bit.
Absolutely. And Sandy, one of the things that we do since the last time you were on the show, we now have things that we call points to ponder. And I would love to play one of the first ones that I did was about kindness. Can I play it for you?
Sure.
The strength of staying kind from your friends at Positive Talk Radio. Kindness is not weakness. It takes real strength to stay kind in a world that often rewards anger, ego, and control. Being kind means choosing to act from your values, not your wounds. It means showing grace even when no one's watching. But kindness doesn't mean being passive. It doesn't mean letting people take advantage of your time, your energy, or your peace. You can be kind and still say no. You have a soft heart with firm boundaries. The strongest people I know are the ones who choose compassion without losing themselves. They've been hurt. They've been tested. And still, they choose to love and lead and to lift others anyway. Kindness is not about pleasing everybody. It's about honoring who you are and how you treat others, even when it's hard. So stay kind, stay human, and stay strong. And always remember this, be kind to one another because each other's all we've got. And what do you think of that?
I think it's perfect. Perfect message. That's my message too. Same message, tailored for children, right? Because again,
Exactly.
I feel so strongly that if they internalize that, what you just said, they're going to turn into those kind adults.
Yeah.
Right. With an eye for empathy, with a heart for empathy, and with just the way that they can see a need, right? That they don't step over a person in the street, or they don't just say, not my problem, right? We don't want that. We want someone who can notice, who can see things beyond themselves.
And when you start when they are real young, it builds into their DNA.
Exactly.
So that they are kind by default, just about, because that's just how. And then when they see somebody who's not kind, it is offensive to them, as it well should be.
Sure. It as well should be. You're right. I know my little granddaughter, she'll say, if someone at her preschool, hey, that's not nice. Like, that's what she'll say. Hey, that's not nice. So like at 3 years old, she notices, right, if something isn't nice. So when whoever said the kids were looking for trouble, no, they're not. They notice at that young age, right, if something's wrong. So
she's already learning not to be a bystander, to have her voice, to speak up for other people,
right.
and to understand that. That is absolutely phenomenal.
And to speak up for herself.
She does. Her favorite egg is the pink one. She likes the pink one, which is Sigourney. So so they're learning at very young ages, but the books are really for 5 to 9-year-olds. But again, it can be shared by parents and teachers for a younger set if they want to read to them. So but 5 to 9 is the kind of the sweet spot for the character ages and the lessons that are taught.
Well, I love that you've created this too, because we have so many new shows for kids, right? They're not the best things, if we're being completely honest. It's like, you go from Miss Rachel and Bluey to like South Park, and it's like, no, wait, hold on. So I really love that you've bridged a gap we didn't really even know we had with the learning, and we think, oh well, they can talk, they can walk, they can do all these things, oh, they're good. No, they need these things more than ever. And as you mentioned, at 7 years old, right in the middle of that age gap, is where they start having more awareness and building that identity.
Right, because now they're into like, first grade, second grade, and there's more peer pressure, and the world's going to get them, more influence on them. I like you mentioned Miss Rachel and Bluey, because the good eggs pick up where they kind of their age stops, and then the good eggs bridges that.
Exactly.
Right. So it would
the learning continues. It's not just watching something.
Yeah, exactly. And I even made it's something parents can feel like. I made a 2-hour compilation of all 12 episodes. Like if you're going on a road trip, right, you can just be comfortable that the kids are watching something that they're going to learn from. Okay, so there's that. So there's just a lot of facets to it. And like I said, the app brings in a lot of things that parents can feel comfortable with, that they don't have to worry a chat bot's going to pop up and ask them things, or that something inappropriate is going to pop up, because you can't like get out of the app to another website or anything like that. It's quite secure for a child's website or a child's app, and there's no ads. And there's a parent section that needs a code. So it's really fun, and there's a lot to do on it. In fact, I just thought of another game I'm going to add probably this week. But there's just a lot to do on it, and it's something parents and kids can do together too.
Well, I think it's wonderful what you're doing, and it's remarkable. And I have to ask you, because you started this 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Oh, well, the first book came out in 2013.
Oh, so it's been out a little while.
It's been out a little while, but it's just starting to gain that traction probably in the last 5, 6 years. Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is that you have made this your life's work, and you're passionate about it and you're not going to quit, similar to what I'm doing, because I'm passionate about it and I'm just not going to quit. Where did that fire, that drive come from for you?
Gosh, I don't know. I think just growing up, and, I grew up with a lot of kindness and a lot of, like, my parents were always, you get the things in the mail about, Easter seals or March of Dimes or cancer. My mom would, every single one, she'd send a check every time. And my dad would say, just pick one or two, like, no, we're healthy and we're grateful to be healthy, and, we can do our part. So I think that kind of instilled in me. And my dad was also very generous. So I think just growing up in that environment, I kind of got instilled that this is what we do. So it just kind of always stuck with me. And, I kind of feel like I was kind of maybe the mediator with my friends a lot, and, trying to bridge gaps and things. So I think it just stuck with me. And then when I had kids, I was just so intrigued with, how they learn and grow, and what they learn and grow. And then I always wanted to do a book, but I waited till they grew, because, you're very busy with 3 children. But then I finally did do it, and now it's really taking off. So.
Well, and that has to make you feel makes your heart warm.
Yes. Yes, it does. And even through my teaching career, the kids have been fabulous. I mean, they've taught me more than I've taught them, I think. So that's been a real gem in my life as well. Just very well-rounded teaching and learning from each other. But it's just added so much to everything that I do, the way I think, the way I write. So it's really been a great ride so far. Not done yet.
Well, and you are getting out to be everywhere. And are you looking forward to the day when you're going to be a Saturday morning cartoon?
Oh my gosh, yes. But now, Kevin, and I don't know where Brichelle went, but it's YouTube. Kids are watching YouTube.
Oh, that's great. And you're on YouTube as well.
Yes, I'm on YouTube. So
and I don't know. Sometimes Brichelle's in Salt Lake City.
Oh,
and they have a lot of fires there right now.
Yes. Wow.
And so she may have lost power, but I haven't heard. So hopefully she'll be back here in a moment or two. But I'm just so thrilled that you're doing that, and it's because of it is very integral. It is very needed, and parents get that. It's going to continue to grow for a very, very long time.
Yes, I believe it will. I would love to, again, get some of the videos redone in what's called vector art. We want to get those done. I also enhance some of the storylines. So I'd like to get those redone with some enhanced storylines. So there's a lot I would like to see. Again, I know I told you before, I'd love to see like stage shows, like the Good Eggs Live, and have that travel around the country and help kids and maybe bring kids up on stage. And I'd like to see plushies go along with, maybe a set of books and a plushie. So there's a lot that can be done still.
Well, and it's you're just going to continue working on it, and things are going to come into play, and and it's just like when the UPS affiliate, not UPS, PBS affiliate, reached out to you, and then it went to the other ones,
Right.
and it's going to probably be in every PBS station across the country.
I should check. Yeah, I would hope so. I hope so. If it's on the main one, I'm sure they can share content.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now, how long has the app been out now?
The app has just come out in January of this
Oh,
year.
very good. And how can they go to your website to get the app?
They can go to the website and they click on app, and then it'll take them. It's on Apple Store and Google Play. So there's links for each one, depending on, if you have an iPhone or an Android.
And the website is thegoodeggs.org, correct?
Right. Make sure they put that S, because a lot of people stop at the Good Egg. That's a grocery store. So we want to do the Good Eggs, plural, with an S.org. Yeah.
And then you can get the app, and you can go to YouTube, and because it's on YouTube, it's a very family friendly channel, and there's not and so parents can actually have their kids just sit there and watch it if they want to.
Yes, for sure. They can definitely do that and have no worries about what's going to pop up. And there's stuff for parents on there too. So yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Talk about the work that you're doing with the parents as far as the well, what do you
the parenting
the tips and the parenting tips and things.
So what I did, I took each episode and I made, Miss Poach is the teacher, which is my voice in the cartoon. So I said, Miss Poach here. And I say what happens in the episode, and I'll show some like still frames of the episode, and then say, have you ever experienced this, or try this next time, or, just really short sound bites, 1 or 2 minutes that they can watch on making friends, being responsible, taking care of the earth. There's one about Earth Day. So there's a lot of different parenting tips that they can watch that just are real fast little, things for them. And they can also get an idea of what the whole chapter is about too. So if they wanted to journey through the book with their child, they would already know what's going on in the chapter.
Did you enjoy doing the voiceovers?
I did. I really did. Now, because that was the first time around, I would kind of do it a little differently, but until we get to that point, they're good right now. They're good, but I would really like to enhance them.
So will you be wanting to, if somebody came to you and said, I want yours as a weekly show on television, and so you would have to come up with weekly scripts and that kind of stuff, is that something you'd like to try and do?
Love it. I already have scripts for all of book 1 and half of book 2. So I'm still working on the scripts for the other half of book 2. And then I have to do all of book 3, but I can write scripts. I've been writing them already. Yeah. So.
Oh, that is awesome. So if you're out there and you are a producer and you want to bring quality television to your station or to the network, you can call Sandy at the Good Eggs .org and message her, and then you guys can have a conversation.
Oh yeah, it would be great. It would be really I know it would take off, because like you said, there's not a lot of content like that out there right now, and everything's vying for kids' attentions. And this is something that, a lot of times people say, oh, these screens are tearing us apart as families, but this actually can bring families together. It can bring families together. together.
Yep. And in many ways, the screens are tearing us apart because kids, and I get it. Parents are busy and they've grown up with video games.
Right. Right.
And so they're used to playing video games all the time. And as a matter of fact, I've got both of my sons are video game people,
Okay.
and they've got kids. And so
So
to then,
natural for them. Right.
yeah,
That's
well,
why
and
that's why I wanted to do the app, so that, because that's not going away, right? Screens are not going away. So this way, with the younger set, if they're going to start being on a screen, why not do something that's going to teach them, the social emotional skills about how to relate to each other, because they're going to get into situations at school. They're going to get into situations with siblings, with family. It's going to happen. Why not have something that a parent can feel safe about and let their child learn in that way? Maybe it doesn't have all the, zippity doos with all the racing games and all the shoot 'em up games, but it shows real world skills. And it's something, to me, much more valuable.
Well, and the shoot 'em up games are not actually. Have you tried
there? But I don't know what they're learning too much.
They're learning. They're being desensitized in many cases, and stuff. So, by the way, how long were you a teacher?
26 years.
You just were. You must have started when you were 5.
No. No, I'm older than you think, Kevin.
Well, and you've been you. What grades did you teach?
I taught high school, actually. I taught high school.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, how long have you been retired?
Just this year, like 3 weeks.
What is it? I can only imagine. What is it like teaching high school these days?
Well, it's like I said before, I've been in the classroom before screens and after screens. So I've seen a big difference. I have to say, my kids that I had in high school were great. I actually taught all girls. So they were very, it was private school. So they were very, very astute, very kind, very open to ideas. I've never had a problem with a student, but not to say problems don't come up. There definitely were problems, but the way we handled them, our administration was great. All our teachers were great. And I saw them interact with each other if someone else had a problem. Like, that's what I mean. That's how they taught me too, that they really do know what to do. They really want to do the right thing. So I wanted to carry that down to a younger set, to get them at a younger age. But the only thing I would say that I noticed negatively is attention span. Attention span now, they'd show me a video. Look how funny this is. Look how funny this is. And they'd show like 2 seconds, and then it would go. I go, well, why didn't you let me finish the video? They go on to something else. I go, I didn't even see what was the funny part. They just go a mile a minute. So I think that has really been affected by today's technology.
Well, and you are on YouTube, like I am on YouTube, and the algorithms are interesting because they are very geared for short attention spans.
Right, exactly. I know. I got to redo my theme song because someone told me it was too long. It's 40 seconds. They said, "Oh no! It should be like 5-6 seconds long." Like, how do you do a theme song? Yeah. I mean, I'll have to work on that, but right now it kind of introduces all the characters. But
I disagree with that. But then on the other hand,
I haven't changed it yet, but I'm kind of researching it right now.
Well, and they tell me that you need to have a real short, quick hook to get the folk, because people will tune in, but then they'll tune out after 30 seconds. How do you even get an idea of what the content is going to be about in 30 seconds? Maybe they're smarter than me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the result of attention span. And that's what, in those books that I was telling you about, that Stolen Focus and Anxious Generation, they both address that everything is competing for our kids' attention. So, I mean, if you want to be in that game, you've got to compete. But I'm kind of trying to do the opposite. Let's slow it down, right? Let's slow it down and let's look at something that's really going to benefit their heart and soul.
There is something to be said for that, because everybody gets on the bandwagon and they start doing what they deem to be successful, but
Right.
it's not necessarily successful. They're just copying somebody else. Whereas, so now the longer format and 40-second opening or whatever might be the new thing that is, because everybody's going shorter.
Right. That's why I'm leaving it for now and going to sit with it for a little bit and, see what research says and see what the response is, because I really like it. I mean, I really like it. And I've heard kids singing it too. It's a little catchy little tune. So
there is something to be said for, if you like it, by gum, keep it.
yes. So we'll see. Like, again, I'm always open to changes. I'm open to refining, nothing's set in stone. So that's how
Now,
things.
you teased me when you said the 3 books, and so this series is complete.
Yeah.
Is there another series coming?
Not right now. Not right now. But just a little teaser. I did write a novel for adults.
You did?
Yes. And that's all.
What's oh, it's obviously not out yet.
It's not out. It's finding a literary home right now, but it kind of mimics. It's really good, Kevin. I'm so excited about it. But it kind of mimics that idea of being seen and kindness and on an adult level. It's very intricate. It's very, it was in me. It was like, it had to come out. It was stuff from my life too. A lot of it's from my life. And it's like, I worked on that for a good 6 to 8 months. And now it's out there circulating, trying to find an agent. So,
oh, it'll find a home. It'll find a home. And like I earlier said, that we do these points to ponder, and there's one that strikes me as well. I would like to play for you now, because this is really what you are doing, and for anybody who is out there that is passionate about what you're doing, it doesn't matter. It can be in media or anything. It can be volunteering. It can be whatever it is. If you're passionate about it, don't quit. Keep going, because you don't know how many people you're going to impact over time. We call this the candle. Let me play it for you real quick.
okay.
Here's another point to ponder by Positive Talk Radio. In a dark room, a single candle was lit. That tiny flame chased away the shadows, filling the space with hope. Your courage, your kindness, and your light may seem small at times, but it can change someone's entire world. Never underestimate the power you already carry inside. Even the smallest flame can ignite a fire that transforms lives. You are listening to Positive Talk Radio, where stories of hope come alive. What did you think of that one?
I love it, because you also need darkness to see the light, right? So you could be in a completely dark room and light a little birthday candle and you're going to see it, right?
Yep.
So even that tiniest thing can change perspective.
And it can, because light will always defeat darkness.
Yep. Always.
And so if you are passionate about something that you're doing, stick with it. Don't quit. And Sandy didn't. She's been doing this for a while now,
Yeah.
and it's continuing to grow. It's blossoming, and it's just going to continue on because it has, are bringing to the table what has genuine value.
I hope so, Kevin. And I would like to say too that even if you're passionate about something, keep at it. Even if it didn't, like say they do and it doesn't go somewhere, at least you did it for you, right? Like that your passion came out. And that's how it will be received too by the world. That more on a sincere level, not that, oh, I want to do this and make all this money and blah, 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 that you're doing it to put out something good into the world, to maybe counteract some of the negativity, to put out goodness, to do it from your heart, to do it from sincerity. And I think that's what the real message needs to be.
And it is a really good message because it is something that will change things. Because Sandy, I want you to look at it this way. In 5 to 10, maybe 15 years, one of your books is going to find their way into somebody's hand from maybe a used bookstore or a library and stuff. And it's going to have a meaningful impact to a child who hasn't even been born yet. How does that make you feel?
That would be really amazing. That would be really amazing. When you said before about generations, knowing these stories, I saw on my podcast, somebody put a little comment, oh, I used to listen to this when I was little. So I thought, oh, somebody made a comment there. So they was, I don't know, maybe they were like 20 or something, but when they were little, so maybe 10 years ago, they would listen to that. So.
Well, I still remember stories that when I was a kid that my mom and I would read together, and I still remember those stories, and they have a meaningful impact, and they can be a long-term impact. So, and by the way, since my linguist has gone away, I hope she's okay. Sandy, and your last name is
Ciaramitaro.
again.
Yes.
Ciaramitaro, and you can go to her website, which is thegoodeggsswithan.org. And you've also got your nonprofit organization, correct?
Correct. I have my nonprofit, the Good Eggs Foundation. So that grew out of the book series. So that's been going on since 2019. And I started it in September because that's how all the books start in September when the eggs go back to school. And each month I seek out an organization in our Metro Detroit area that helps children, and I egg them. So I call them up and I see, what do you need for this month? Is there something I can get you? And what we do is get them, could be bedding for kids coming out of shelters. It could be STEM supplies. It could be so many different things. Like I said, since 2019, we've done it once a month and haven't missed a month yet, even through COVID. And we've done, oh my gosh, I'm just trying to think. Oh, now we're doing a grandparents raising grandkids who need some help. So we're doing supplies for that. We did a lady who gives birthday parties to children who wouldn't normally get a birthday party. So we did all these supplies and balloons and party favors. So it's really fun. It's different every month. And that's what we're doing.
So it's kind of like a drive-by egging that you are doing for folks.
I'd say you've been egged. Yeah, you've been egged.
And one of the really sad things about what's happening today with fentanyl and all of that is there are parents who are having overdoses, and so grandparents are left with that. So that's, I don't know. I don't know if I could work with a 5 or 6 year old child at my age.
When I babysit, it's like, wow. That's a lot of work. How did I do it before? But yeah, I've had 2 organizations approach me with 2 grandparent organizations. So it's becoming more prevalent. Mm-hmm.
It really is. And by the way, if you wouldn't mind mentioning to one of them that I would love to talk to somebody about that, because it's really is a thing.
Sure.
Um,
In fact, one of them has a podcast. So
oh, perfect.
yeah, I'll send
Yeah.
you the.
Do you remember the name of their podcast so we can get that out there?
It's a Grand Life.
Oh, isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Because it happens more than we would like it and like to think that it happens.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So they're trying to get awareness out as well. So yeah, we're gonna egg them next month. I think August. Yeah.
You're egging them next month. Oh, and speaking of getting egged, Brichelle returns.
Oh yay, Brichelle.
Yes, hello. Have you guys been having so much fun?
Oh yeah, we missed you.
We did. We were crying here. We were going to go to egg your house too.
You better show up. I wouldn't be mad about that.
Well, and Sandy and I were just talking about the fact that she's got a nonprofit organization that does drive-by eggings.
Well, about drive-by, but we'll drive. We go there. we don't actually throw eggs. No, we get them whatever they may need for the month. So it's usually a nonprofit organization, and we do a great fundraiser every year. And this wonderful family that we know owns a bakery, and we do a cannoli festa. So every year the cannoli festa donates proceeds to the Good Eggs Foundation, and we are enabled to do more eggings through that. So that's always fun to do every year.
Oh, I love how you've made a word that could get a kid in trouble something positive.
Yeah, we're spinning it. We're spinning eggings to be good.
Yeah. Well, eggings are always, when I was a kid, eggings weren't so good.
I never did that, I must say. I never did the egging or the toilet paper. Maybe it was because somewhere along the way I might have learned about a few of these good eggs.
Maybe. But, also the premise with the eggs is that, they're fragile and kids are fragile, and that we need to take care with them, to take good care with them. And if they crack, right, we can fix them. We can support them and fix them. So.
And I, for one, would like to see our country do more because we have got a lot of kids that go to bed hungry. Yes. And single parent homes where the parent has to work all the time just to put food on the table.
Right. They need support.
What I just realized too? I think it is so beautiful because think about the naturality of eggs. They're the same. If you boil them and they think, a kid needs a piece, they can share a piece with another kid who may need that. And eggs come in all shapes, all colors, all sizes, right? Not one egg is the same.
No, they're all different. And actually, if you look at the eggs in the book, they're all non-human colors. And that was purposely done too, so that they're just all different and they all have a little idiosyncrasy. They all have their own things going on. But the way they relate to each other really tells a complete story through all three books.
Yeah, it's very purpose driven, and kids need to understand the word purpose because they're going to live by it somehow, some way. And Gowdy, 1971, my own parent, is here to say hello, people. And you better take notes about this and save it for when I got kids I'm sending to your house, Dad. So
we'll be here.
Or Brichelle can come sit on your lap and you can read to her. How about that?
Yes. You want to read a book, Dad? We could both learn something.
Yeah, there you go. You can look at the lesson plans, do a little
never too late
at home. So yeah.
Oh, and Sandy, I just want to compliment you one more time because what you're doing is so important in this day and age. It's hard, and being a kid, I can't imagine being a kid growing up in this time that we are living in.
It's hard for kids. It's hard for parents. It's hard, with everything bombarding you. So all the support they can get, let's give it to them.
And if you have got, I don't know, 100 grand lying around that got nothing better to do, I would suggest that you go to thegooteggs.org and go ahead, make Sandy's day.
Share the eggs, spread them all over the place. They're even good for the garden, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
I love how you've made this so yeah, you've made it so tangible for kids because you're not only teaching them the words, but the value backed behind the words, so that throughout their life, when kids start throwing these words around, they can say, hey, actually, that's not what that means.
Right.
Because that happens too. They get pursued. They're like, wait,
Yes.
hold on. If this is that, then why
Right.
did that good egg say that? And then it allows them to question themselves and start asking questions. Because have you noticed, Sandy, that this gets kids to be more free flowing in their curious mind rather than to like stay quiet and just have their mind kind of spinning in circles?
It encourages that, especially on the app. It really encourages them to think.
Okay.
It encourages them to, like with the world part, there's little trivia questions they can answer.
Cool.
And then they'll get to know more about that country. There's kindness missions they can do, and they'll get a badge, like help a friend with homework, okay, or bake a treat for somebody who's sad, and then they can go back on the app and check it off, and they get a badge. So there's things like that they can do. Yes, they'll be on a screen, but then they get off and they interact with the world.
Well, and you can take those and do that in your home off the app, parents.
Right. It would encourage them to do things like that. So.
And I do have to say that if you have a message of kindness and you believe that to be kind, loving, and accepting of other people is good, then bullying is not as big of a deal, is it?
What do you mean?
If people read the book and take it in and that they follow along and they understand that kindness isn't weakness, that kindness is an actual thing, then they're not going to put up with bullying as much, I would imagine.
Right. Kind of what you said in that first segment, it doesn't mean weakness. It's a superpower. And I have like some superpower stories on the app that show that it's actually makes you stronger. Right, it makes you stronger. And because Benedict can be kind of a bully in some of the episodes, but the friends understand him. So it might even make kids understand where a bully's coming from, that they're actually hurt.
Yes.
And to maybe use a little empathy or some understanding. Well, he moved from a new town. He doesn't have any friends. He's angry. Things like that. They might even understand the other side of it. So yeah, it can work all the way around.
Because isn't it true that kids that bully are actually kids that are wounded?
Yes, they're hurt. Mm-hmm. Definitely. There's
protect
definitely something going on. Definitely.
And that needs to be, I hope that, I just would like to see everybody get along. That's all. That's all I want.
Right. And if a child's a bully, like they can rectify that, they can dig into what's happening and why are you acting out like this? And this isn't how we act as humans. It's not supposed to be how we act as humans. We don't hurt each other. We're not supposed to hurt each other. And so you can really mold their, like I said, social emotional language and emotions and feelings right then when they're so young, right? Sometimes it's harder as an adult when the patterns are set in, but when they're younger, you can really get to their minds better and help them to understand and do different the next time.
What's interesting about that is that you may be kind of inadvertently on purpose affecting the adults that are the parents of these kids as well, because there's a lot of people, if they didn't grow up with this kind of material, they don't understand it. So now maybe they'll gain a little empathy and gain a little understanding.
Right. If they can help their own kids do it, it's certainly going to affect them too as an adult. So yeah, it would be a win-win, right? For everybody.
It
And
also allows the parents to realize they can learn from their children.
Exactly. They always are learning from, like I said, as a teacher, I
Think
learn
about
from
it.
my
They're-
students.
Yeah, they're teaching you. I was going to ask you
I
that. Thank
learn
you for
just as
saying.
much from them as they've learned from me.
Oh,
Yes.
well, and Sandy and Brichelle, let's see if you can remember her last name.
Ciaramitaro.
Ciaramitaro, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Dang, I wish I could do that. That's a skill.
Okay,
That's a
but tell me
life
how
skill.
you really say it.
We say Ciaramitaro. Now in Italy, I believe they say Ciaramitaro.
Oh, I like that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that a song? No, anyway, never mind. So Sandy, thank you so much. And by the way, you're welcome back anytime. I want to follow your career as you continue to grow and as the impact, because
Are you on
these
my
books,
newsletter, Kevin? Are you on my newsletter?
if not, we will
I'm
be.
signing us up right now, Kevin. Don't you worry about a thing.
I'll put
Okay.
you- Okay.
And because the thing is that these books need to be in every school in the country.
Yeah.
And in every library, in every school in the country, even in Texas, where they tried to get rid of the libraries in some of the schools. So put them back.
Put them in the hospital, put them in the
Back.
waiting room in the clinics.
Right.
Put them
I
all
had a kindergarten teacher who took the app, and because they had I don't know if it was iPads or Chromebooks in their classroom, but she set up stations and had like,
Ooh.
different games for them to do on each station. So
Very
that was a
cool.
fun idea. So teachers can put their own spin on it too. Teachers.
Oh,
and parents.
you know what would be fun for them to do? Like every elementary school, because I was a PTA president at one point. They always have a spring festival where and they use it as a fundraiser and stuff. They can
Yes.
set up the games for the kids within that fundraiser.
Sure. Yep, they sure can. It's
Possibilities are
the things you
endless
can
with
do.
this.
Mhm.
I love it.
That would be so much fun. And Brichelle, thank you so much for being here. And Sandy, Brichelle, you get to take us out.
Yes, Kevin, thank you so much for creating this I'll figure out the exact day and then I'll say that. But thank you for creating this when you did and following your purpose, your passion, and your values that you learned along the way so that we can have conversations that Sandy Ciaramitaro gets to be here to share about the good eggs. Please, everybody, know you can find this literally everywhere adapted into your home. Tell the daycares about it. Tell the teachers. Tell the people that you love and the parents who might not have a lot of time on their hands, but they want their kids to be distracted in a healthy way that still allows them to learn. Thegooteggs.org is where you can go. Also finding this all on PBS and all the amazing things. And please do get the app. You will not regret it because you'll remember you downloaded it right when you need it. And Sandy, until next time, thank you so much for creating this and being exactly who you are. I can't wait to see where you continue to go, and we'll find out.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate both Kevin and Brichelle having me on. It's been my honor. Thank you.
Please tell us before we go if there's anywhere else we can find you. Any last words you like?
Well, thegooteggs.org is the main focus where you can follow us on social media. You can sign up for the newsletter. You can get a free chapter for each book. If you wanted to download a free chapter, you can get crossword puzzles, word search puzzles. You can go to Google Play or the App Store and download the app. So everything is on the website, and the social media links are at the bottom where you can get to our YouTube channel and look at all the playlists there. So there's a lots to see.
Perfect.
I love the fact that you are all in.
All in. 100%.
We're all
Congratulations.
in
All in.
That's it.
Thanks, Brichelle.
Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for being part of Positive Talk with Kevin McDonald, where stories inspire and voices remind us of what truly matters. May today's conversation give you hope, courage, and a reason to keep moving forward. And just remember, till next time, be kind to one another because each other's all we've got.